This is what I've been waiting for. I really thought we were going to have to wait until the content creator gameplay and info, but no, Insomniac delivered at state of play, and when I say delivered, I mean it. The game looks phenomenal, and if you somehow weren't excited before, you definitely should be now. Before we dive in, be sure to drop a like down below and subscribe so you don't miss out on Spider-Man coverage. For this video, I want you to let me know down in the comments, what's your favourite suit out of all the new ones that we've seen so far. So let's get into it. Game director Brian Intihar broke down many of the new improvements and features, but I want to delve a little bit deeper into some of the small details that you might have missed. Now, I did plan on releasing this video earlier, but when the content creator information and gameplay dropped from the Insomniac event, I had to change a few things as some information was confirmed and debunked. First on the list, if you look at the expanded map, you'll notice that Rikers Island and the Raft are not illuminated in the way that Manhattan and the two new playable areas Brooklyn and Queens are. So this could imply that those areas are not freely explorable, which kind of makes sense, but they probably will be reserved for story segments of the game. For example, we've seen Martin Lee in his prison uniform, so there's probably some kind of breakout sequence. Next, we see Peter swinging what looks like a little bit closer to the ground than we could previously. It's not quite touching or running along the floor, but it definitely looks better. I still think there will be that slight safe area, but we'll see. We also see some leaves around Miles as he swings through a tree, which is an awesome attention to detail. When we first saw this team takedown footage, I speculated on Twitter that this could be a rare type of team takedown that happens in the open world, where the other Spider-Man shows up from off screen, joins in the takedown, and then swings off again. Well, it turns out that it's actually even better than that, as the other Spider-Man can apparently show up during random crimes in the open world to assist you. So for example, you could be playing as Miles, taking out a group of criminals, and Peter will appear completely out of nowhere to help you out. That's such an amazing feature, and I can't wait to see it in action. I found this part about unfamiliar spider bots interesting. Why would Peter and Miles have spider bots that are unfamiliar to them? So one theory that's already making the rounds is that it could be a multiverse side mission, which seems to have been confirmed by multiple creators, including Caboose. I know some people roll their eyes a little bit when the multiverse is brought up, but just hear me out for 1 second. I honestly wouldn't be opposed if the multiverse crossovers or Easter eggs were a side mission. I think it would work better that way. Rather than it being a large impact on the story, it could just be its own sort of segmented little thing. So imagine if we go to these spider bots and then interact with them, and we're pulled into a Ratchet and Clank style sequence where we have to do a set piece mission in an alternate universe, maybe playing as Miguel O'Hara or Gwen Stacy. That would be incredible, and it would give the Spider-Men something to talk about between missions, like, you know, you won't believe what just happened to me kind of thing. It could function a lot like the Rift missions in Assassin's Creed Unity, where the Animus showed a glimpse of a different time period. It looks like some kind of photography mission will be returning, and that's all there really is to say about that. We see the gadget screen, and it's not clear if this is for Miles or Peter, or possibly shared, but I think it's most likely to be Miles, because we can see the web grabber on there, which we know he definitely uses. There's 5 gadgets in total, some of which are returning from the previous game, but we also get the new Ricochet web and Upshot. Now, if these are replacing gadgets like Suspension Matrix and AR drones, then I'm personally fine with that. I'd much rather have web-based gadgets than all the anti-gravity and augmented reality stuff personally. Ricochet web seems fairly self-explanatory. We can probably use it to shoot round corners, which would be interesting for stealth takedowns, or it could possibly bounce between multiple enemies as well. I'm interested to see what Upshot does. Maybe it'll be some kind of Fulton device that carries enemies into the air, which would be quite funny. The upgrades for the web grabber show that it can disarm enemies and also electrocute them as well, as if Miles needs any kind of extra zapping capability. On the next page, we've got our suit tech system, which is broken down into health, damage, focus, and my most anticipated, traversal. Most of them look like speed upgrades, which is fine, but we also see that one of them looks dedicated to air tricks, which is very exciting, and then maybe some sort of enhanced dodge mechanic. I'm not quite sure what that is. Kind of looks like Spider-Man moving out the way of something. Let me know your thoughts on that one. We have the all-seeing upgrade, which reveals tech on your minimap, and last but definitely not least, what looks like a super sprint or running speed upgrade. Ladies and gentlemen, if that is the case, I have officially won. I talked extensively about parkour and running speed upgrades in my traversal video, so I'll be very happy if that's the case. Again, it's not outright confirmation, but it seems likely based on the image in this upgrade. If you watched my previous video, you'll know that it's now been confirmed that we are getting enhanced web swinging mechanics including the loop-de-loop and hard corner turns with a web tether. But not only that, community manager Aaron Espinoza has since also confirmed that we can briefly surf along the water if we hit it at a high enough speed when swinging and gliding. He posted footage of Sunset Overdrive, which was also developed by Insomniac Games and had a similar mechanic to give us an idea of what it's going to look like. That is just such a cool addition that even I would have never thought of. They really do seem to have gone above and beyond. In the customization screen, we can see that at least some suits from the first two games are returning, and there's a total of 65 suits in the game. Just want to point out the Spider Falcon suit because it's a personal favourite of mine. I was on a bit of a winning streak the other day with my speculation because as soon as I saw it, I said it would be extremely cool if the web wing glide is actually the Falcon wings, and that was indeed confirmed by footage from Random Black Gamer. Once again, Insomniac just don't miss with these small details. When I saw this nighttime symbiote clip, I noticed that the air vents to the right side of the screen look a lot like the ones from Dying Light 2 that give you a vertical boost when you're using your parachute. So once again, I took to Twitter to speculate that this will have a similar function for your wingsuit, and once again I was proven right not long after by Random Black Gamer's footage. And then, literally just a few hours ago at the time of this video, we got another confirmation of a new traversal mechanic from Caboose, who took to Twitter to say not only can we perform the slingshot mechanic on poles, we can actually do it anywhere we want, potentially similar to how it worked in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, I don't want to toot my own horn too many times here, but guys, I called it. Do you remember this follow-up video I made with some additional traversal ideas? Well, let me play you a clip from that video, bearing in mind this was a few months ago. I do apologise as you're about to experience a significant drop in audio quality. This was before I invested in a better microphone.
And then I was also thinking about the new slingshot feature, which is definitely one of my favourite highlights of the Spider-Man 2 gameplay. But I also really hope it's not just tied to very specific sections of the map, like these preset poles that Miles does the slingshot maneuver off. If you read the text closely, it says super slingshot. Now, I can't say for certain, but that implies to me that there might be a normal slingshot as well that you can use more freely. I made a quick mock-up to show what a normal slingshot feature could look like that you could use between any close-by surfaces. And my thought was that the poles give you the super slingshot because they're springy and they give you a lot more distance, and the standard slingshot isn't quite as far, but you can use it in a lot more places.
So there you have it, guys. Just as I described in that video, it sounds like we will indeed be able to do a slingshot almost anywhere, with the designated poles providing an even greater boost. It's kind of funny because at the time I made that video, I was talking about it in a Twitter group chat, and I said, guys, I think the fact that it's called a super slingshot could mean that there's a normal slingshot, and
they called me a madman. And what I predicted came to pass.
Well, who's laughing now? Another great find from Spider Menace on Twitter. It looks as though we'll be able to use vehicles such as Craven's choppers as launch points. It even looks like we can do some sort of point launch from a train. Now, if this means we can run along the side of a train or maybe on the top of vehicles, maybe in an automated way, a bit like, again, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I also mentioned in my traversal video. If I'm right about that as well, I will be back to brag. Honestly, over the past few days, with the amount of speculations I've made that have turned out to be correct, I was almost tempted to buy a lottery ticket, but I don't know if my luck is that good. Finally, one last detail is that Peter can actually shoot webs out of his mechanical arms.
You can't do that, huh?
No? How on earth does that?
So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed these little details and potential hints of features. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video.